What's up, guys? Today I've got some more Wildstar class speculation. In this video we're going to be talking about what the two new classes' roles might be and what their gameplay might be like. Again, this video is 100% speculation. I have no inside information. This is just me bullshitting with both my subscribers on my live stream and my YouTube channel with some information from Wildstar Central, all the Wildstar Reddit, things like that. Just me compiling information and compiling theories into something that I think might be very plausible. So let's get started. My first video I made about this, I thought the medic was going to be a dedicated healer. Oh, by the way, the medic and the engineer, I really did no research myself on the medic and the engineer, like why those will be the two new classes. People have been saying that these would be the two new classes for the longest time, so I'm just going to assume that's what it is. I don't know if someone has inside information, but that's pretty well known. I don't know. I could be wrong. I really do think there will be an engineer-style class in the game. It might not be... These two classes might not be called the medic and the engineer. They might be called something else, but I think the idea of those two classes is very likely. The names might not be the same. The engineer could be called the tinkerer or the mechanic or something like that, but the idea is there. Anyway, back on topic. So I thought the medic was going to be a super healer. It had two healing specs, like a shielding healing spec and a normal healing spec that just did raw healing. The other one did shielding and buffs or something crazy like that. And I thought the engineer was going to be a utility class. It could be like crazy. I don't know. You get what I mean? Like it's not really a solid DPS. It's got some like good raid buffs and it helps the team out. Or it was just going to be a solid DPS class that could be both a ranged DPS and a melee DPS. So they might still go crazy with the next two classes and make them really different from the first four. But I think this is more plausible. One of my subscribers convinced me the other way around that they would be more similar to the first four classes, and it would make sense to be like that, because if what you see on this graph right here is true, then you'd have 3 tanks, 3 healers, 3 ranged DPS, and 3 melee DPS. That makes sense. That really, really makes sense. And the two new classes could be a spin-off on the first 4. So you've got the warrior, right? The warrior and the stalker are very similar. They can both be tanks, and they're both melee DPS. The spellslinger and the esper are very similar. They can both be ranged DPS, and they can both be healers. I feel like the medic and the engineer might flip that on its head, since the medic can be maybe a melee DPS and a healer, and the engineer could be a ranged DPS and a tank. It's just me bullshitting, but I feel like that could be true. But I also feel like they could be crazy. They could just go crazy with it, and the medic could be a 2-spec healer, and the engineer could be a 2-spec DPS or a utility crazy class. But I feel like 3 tanks, 3 healers, 3 ranged DPS, and 3 melee DPS is just too perfect. That looks too perfect on the graph for that not to be the case. And before you get excited about the engineer, I know a lot of people are like, oh my god, a ranged tank? I would not get too excited about the whole ranged tank thing. That seems like a real design issue to have one tank. You've got the other 2 tanks are normal melee tanks, and then they just make one rogue tank that, well, not rogue tank, but you get what I mean, like one crazy tank that happens to be ranged. It seems like a real design disaster. It seems like the engineer tank would be really OP or really bad. There would be like no in between because they'd have to design the fights. Like imagine a tank just sitting back at 40 yards. That's just weird. Maybe it'll happen, but I wouldn't put too much stake into the ranged tank. I feel like the engineer tank might be like crazy where you like throw a bomb and grab aggro. Like I feel like the engineer tank would really work because you're like, oh, you throw this bomb, you throw a smoke bomb down and the raid takes less damage, or you throw this taunting bomb and pull all the mobs to you, or you throw down a turret. I feel like it could really work. And the medic could be sort of like a ret paladin, where you're like a melee healer kind of deal. So anyway, it's just me bullshitting. I feel like it's too perfect to not be 3 tanks, 3 healers, 3 ranged DPS, and 3 melee DPS. What else? I've got some notes here. I really do think the next 2 classes will be different. I would kind of be disappointed if the engineer was just a melee DPS tank, because that's just like the warrior and the stalker. I really think they will go do something really different with the next 2 classes. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm really curious I feel like this is it, though. I feel like this graph makes a lot of sense. Let me know what you guys think. I'm very excited to see the gameplay. Even though I feel like we've got the two classes figured out, even though I really do think the medic and the engineer will probably be the next two classes, the gameplay is a complete mystery. No one knows anything about the gameplay of the medic and the engineer. There was a little bit of a tease in the Wildstar Dirty Little Secrets trailer where they showed a guy and he had like a gun and it put a weird telegraph on the ground. I don't know if that was the medic or the engineer because it looked like a human character, or at least that's what I'm remembering. So we can't really tell. But damn, I'm excited. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.
Are brilliant at what they do. If it can be built, then it needs to hurt people that sure are the ones for the job. And it's just unfortunate that the furry little fiends are certifiable psychopaths.